Everyone, welcome to my little tiny sewing studio. Today I want to show you how to put Dolly's house together. As you can see, before it's put together, it lays flat, which is great if you want to travel with it or if you need to ship it somewhere like I need to do often. Before you begin, make sure that you've sewn out all the pieces in the set and you have your dowels and finials ready to go. Also, make sure that you have sliced open every single tab slot. If you don't do that before you begin and you're in the middle of assembly and you get to a tab slot that's not sliced open, it can be really frustrating. Also, make sure you sew all the panels together that need to be together. For instance, all the house panels, the floor panels, the roof panels, the tower panels. So let's begin. The first thing you'll want to do, and I've already done it, is insert all of the little doors, and you can start inserting the bay windows. Next, you'll need to find the first floor. There are 3 floors, and they do look kind of similar. They are all different, so it's important to get the right one to start with. The first floor has a porch. Once you've found the first floor, you can take the house panels and set them approximately where they're going to go. The front door will line up with the little walkway in the porch. Now, it's really tempting to want to line up the edge of the house with the edge of the first floor, but this house is designed so that each of the sides wrap around the first floor to give it a little extra stability. I'm going to save this wraparound tab to the very end. I'll start with this tab on the edge of the first floor, and I'll push it through the tab slot in the house panel and pull it through the other side. If you have an extra set of hands that can help you hold the house panels up straight while you tab in the first floor, it really helps a lot. After you finish tabbing the first floor in, we can go ahead and finish tabbing in the bay windows. I told you I had already started mine, and it does make it a little bit easier to get one side of the bay window tabbed in first. Now we'll go back and tab the bay window into the other side. After you've finished tabbing in the bay windows, you can tab in the window seats. You might have noticed while you were putting this together that the walls are really flopping around, and you might be wondering, is this thing really going to be stable and stay together? Yes, it really will stay together, and it is very sturdy. We're going to start adding a little stability right now. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and put your first floor staircase together. The first floor staircase doesn't have any doors or windows in the side. It does have 2 little tabs that point straight down, and we'll tab those into the 2 tab slots in the first floor. Now it's time to add some dowels, and you'll need the extra little end cap finials. Take the longest dowel and insert it in the hole in the bay window, and it also goes through the hole behind the bay window. Push the dowel through the holes in the staircase and feed the dowel through the hole that matches it on the opposite side of the house. And where the dowel comes out of the other side of the house won't be through the bay window, it'll be right next to it, and you can pop a finial on that end. When you do put the finials on the end of the dowels, if you put them on like this and squeeze the dowel, you can snap the dowel in the middle. So make sure that you just hold close to the end of the dowel and slide the finial on the end. I learned that the hard way, which is why when I travel with my dollhouse, I always take extra dowels with me. All the rest of the dowels should be cut to the same size. Take one of the remaining dowels and feed it through this hole in the first floor. And it will come out the corresponding hole on the other side of the house. The last dowel on the first floor will go through the hole on this side, and you'll feed it through the hole in the tower doorway. Now this dowel does not need a finial on the other end because it will be hidden by the tower wall when we're finished. Now we're ready for the second floor. To find the second floor, look for the one that has 3 little balconies sticking off the ends. It also has an opening that will match the staircase on the first floor. Take the second floor and place it over the dowels and pull the tower floor through the tower door, and it will rest on that dowel that's just sticking out there. Pull each of the balconies through the little French doors, and there's a little tab on the top of the bay window that will tab into the center of the balcony. Now there's 2 other tab slots on the balcony. Those are for the railings, which we'll put in now. Look for the railings that have 2 tabs on either side and 2 tabs along the bottom. Tab the bottom tabs into the balcony and the side tabs into the house. Repeat that for the other 2 French doors and balconies. Next, tab the top of the staircase into the second floor. Now we'll finish tabbing the second floor around the house. Around the second floor, you'll see some tabs shaped like this, and the tab slot is right here. In the wall panels, you'll see some tabs that are in the gap between where you sewed the panels together. That little tab goes inside that tab slot, and then you push both pieces to the outside of the house. They're very secure tabs, and once the house is all together, they're not going to come apart unless you really want them to. So continue inserting the locking tabs around the second floor. Before we put the third floor on, let's put a few more pieces in the first floor while it's easy to get to. First, we'll put in the second floor staircase. And this is a fun little staircase that has a door right here, and it also has a window on the back so that there's access to the little vent window in the front of the house. And that just tabs into the second floor. Next, we'll put in the railing around the first floor staircase opening. You'll need the railing that looks like this. There are no tabs on the sides, and there are 5 tabs along the bottom. Now we'll put the dowels in for the third floor. Let's put the third floor on. Last floor, and it has a balcony on the top floor and of course the tower floor, and it also has an opening for the staircase we just put in. Lay the floor on top of the dowels and tab the third floor in with those locking tabs all around the top of the house. Now along the balcony there are they look like the locking tabs, but they're actually just normal tabs. Inside of each of those, there's an additional tab, but that is actually for the railing, not for the house. So tab the house tabs into these outside tabs in the balcony. Now we'll tab the staircase into the second floor. And we'll put the railing for the opening in as well. Now we'll take the third floor wall sections, which are these three. This one goes to the outside of the house. That's the doorway to the balcony. These two sections are the same. The only difference is the fabric that you've used on either side. So I have coordinating wallpaper for each of the three rooms that these walls make. So I'm going to put the matching wallpaper with this facing that wall. And this gray wallpaper will coordinate with this gray. And I've got green wallpaper for my middle room in my attic. Now we can install our tower. The tower is kind of in a T shape, and the top of the T will be the top of the tower. Take the tower section and tab it into the house all the way up the side. Now you'll take the tower and insert the floor tabs around the tower. And it's easier to do that one at a time on each floor. Once you have the tower floors tabbed in, you can tab the other side of the tower into the house. Now tab the last three tabs at the top of the tower to the inside of the tower. To finish the tower, we'll need the tower cap and the tower roof. On the tower cap, two of the tab slots are closer together than all of the rest, and they're centered around one of the four tabs on the outside of the cap. Those two tab slots match up with the two tabs in the back of the tower. Now take the tower roof and tab it to the inside. Once you've got your roof tab together, you can stick it on your tower. There are four tab slots around the edge that match up with the four tabs on the tower cap. And you can put the roof any way you want, any direction you want. Now we're ready for the roof panels. And I've already sewn all the small pieces together that make up one side of the roof and the pieces that make up the second side of the roof. Now we just need to tab the roof line together, and I've already started doing that. The roof tabs are my favorite tabs in the whole dollhouse, and they tab alternatingly, back and forth. Place the roof panels over the house so that the three openings match the attic rooms, and if you made your roof panels with coordinating fabric, the fabric should match the fabric on the walls in the attic. Tab the inside walls to the roof. The roof line on the ends has a set of tabs on the very outside edge and a set of tabs inside that. The house will tab into the inside tabs. The outside tabs are for the gingerbread trim. Now we can tab in the dormer that goes here. You have two pieces that look like that. I've already tabbed mine together along the roof line, and it can be confusing to figure out which way it goes. The angles are kind of weird. So all of these tabs will tab into the house. Next, we can tab the door over the balcony into the roof line. And again, there are two sets of tab slots. The outside tab slots are for the gingerbread trim. So tab the house into the inside slots. Next, we'll assemble the little dormer. You'll need this piece, and it tabs right into the house like this. And there are two little tabs on each side that tab right into the house to form the corners. Next, you'll need these two pieces. I've already tabbed them together along the roof line, and the tabs will go into the house. And our little dormer will tab into its roof. Next, we'll install the front porch roof. So you need these two rectangular pieces, and again, I've already tabbed them along the roof line, and the tabs go into the house. Next, we'll do the balcony railing on the third floor. I like to think of that as the sewing room. This little railing is made in 3 pieces. Make sure the 3 pieces are tabbed together, and they'll just tab down into those slots that we didn't use earlier. Next, take all the pieces of gingerbread trim and place them so they're right side up. If you've used matching embroidery thread in the bobbin, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, which is a good thing. Take your dormer trim and tab it into the outside slots. Take the smaller piece of dormer trim and tab it in. Find the piece of trim that matches the shape of the front porch roof and tab it in. Find the trim that matches the shape of one of the sides of the house and tab that one in. And the last piece of trim goes on the other side of the house. You have 2 railings left. They have a tab on each side. One tabs into the house, and one tabs into the tower, and the bottom tabs tab into the porch. The very last thing we need to do is attach the wraparound house sections. Well, except for the furniture and the little dollhouse people that we need to put in our dollhouse, this house is completely assembled. You can see how sturdy it is. I can pick it up, move it around. It won't hurt it. If you have children or cats that like to play with it, I know my kitty does, and pieces get crushed or bent, that's okay. Just take some wash away stabilizer, dissolve it in a big pan full or sink full of hot water, and rinse each of the panels in that mixture. Lay them flat to dry and put the house back together. Over time, and hopefully lots of use, your panels will naturally lose some of their rigidity. It'll take a long time. When that happens, again, just make your stabilizer water mixture, rinse your pieces, lay them flat to dry, put the house back together. Now for the fun part. Welcome to my tiny sewing room. Hi. Are you coming to help? Yeah, she'll be a very, very big help. He's spooky. This is your favorite toy?